6 and 8.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So
And I see Isis too.
okay, so 6 and 8 are interesting. So technically this is an 8, but the way it's an 8 and infinity,
Ah.
right?
Oh, so it's one of those like it's because 6 if you can switch it to be a 9.
Yes. And then you can switch to be a 9, and also it could be seen as a B, right? As in like a lowercase b.
Yeah.
So I wanted, again, this is why I like it to be so like I like it to be vague like that. But again, if we're just gonna go with 6 and 8, right? So 6 and 8, because he's Haitian American, I thought it would be interesting. 60. So again, layers of revolution, right? 68 is, if you think about 68 in American history, it's a very tumultuous time.
Yeah.
So in 68, you have like a lot of political, like the assassination of King.
Yeah.
Of Dr. King. You have like what happens at the Democratic Convention where the protesters are beat up and are assaulted by the police. You have things like that that are like, you have a lot of tumultuous times. You have riots that are happening, right, in '68 because of the fact that like a lot of our civil rights leaders are being assassinated, and also like where you also have like riots that are happening because of these the extreme injustices that are happening in American society. So, and then the public, and there is a lot of anger and resentment that's happening in this country. It's a very tumultuous time in '68
chaotic.
in American history, as far as like socially and culturally and when it comes to race relations. So that's the thing, right? But at the same time, if you flip it, 86 is around the time, I could be getting these dates. I'm not sure how in the nose I am with these dates, but 86 is when the dictatorship in Haiti, like, sort of crumbles, right?
Oh, like Baby Doc.
Yes, and I believe and there was that, and for me,
Was
that
it
was
Baby
also
or Papa Doc? No, Papa Doc.
the
was
Papa
first.
Doc was the dad, and he died, and then Baby Doc took over, and the Baby Doc
Yeah.
left in '86. And for me, like the thing about it is, but that's when I also became consciously aware of like, because I grew up in the dictatorship, and then I went to school. Yeah, I'm old.
No.
That's okay. That's a joke. But yeah, I remember I went to school one day. All of a sudden, the flag was like, when I grew up, the flag was red and black. And I go to school one day, and
red,
then
blue.
they're like, and all of a sudden they're literally like like raising this blue and red flag, right? And I was and so to me like that's why I'm consciously, that's one of my so it's a moment for me, and I think for a lot of kids back then, where you're consciously aware. I know we were very young, but you're consciously aware of like the shift, how like how you're like a political reality can shift like that, right? But again, so that's why I thought those two dates, 68 and 86, especially since he was Haitian American, and I know he doesn't, and both of these things are before his time, right?
Yeah.
But I thought in a way, it was interesting that these two dates can like have such, they're moments of, they're moments where there's a lot of turmoil, but at the same time where ideas are shifting, where like the way people thought about the world is shifting, and people are pushing against the status quo, whatever it is, right? In these different societies, so where there is things are being challenged for good or for bad, right?
Yeah.
So there is that, right? And then again, then there's consequences to that kind of challenge, and then so the thing is, for example, if you notice with him, that the body is darker than the head, right? And that's on purpose, right? Because again, part of like we talk about this idea of like where you are getting, like where the body experiences labor, experiences even though the mind tells you what pain is, but the body experience, it's felt through and injuries and all that. But also the body being darker, being black, being like darker is that like, in a way, the body fights, right? And it's in a way, and then the head oftentimes is, to be honest, like being in America being actually in the world now, is that you're told what it's like. You're told what being black is.
Yeah.
Right? You are told this is what being black is. Even though, mind you, you experience it.
Yeah.
But you always have people telling you what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and
right?
even being like, Like
And-
for example, like I'm an immigrant.
Yeah.
And I came here when I was like little,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you can relate on this. There's this crossroad that you're at that sometimes you don't feel like you fit in with the African Americans or the Haitians because you're not Haitian enough,
Or American
you're,
enough, yeah.
or black enough, or and so because like and also because like the way our parents is and the way that they kind of have like this like stronghold in our lives that is like so you act differently. And then through that, people would notice it, and then it's like, okay, you don't have this.
You don't fit in that box.
Yeah, so there's no box that really classify you into like
I can
this,
understand that.
yeah, into like this like space, because like you can like unless you're with like even when you're around with like it's always like a competition, whereas like for example, I just start listening to compa.
Okay.
Well,
congratulations. You're gonna enjoy it.
and when I told my cousin that, and he was like, "What? How you Haitian not listen to compa?"
Yeah.
And then he was I was like, I used to like American music, and then because like when I first got here, like when I was in Haiti, like the only band I listened to was Black Eyed Crew, and they were rappers.
Yeah.
Came here, it was like the first song I hear in this country was "God Bless America" by Lil Wayne.
Okay.
And then after that, I got introduced to Bruno Mars by the Man in the Mirror by Lil Wayne.